Hello and welcome to Politically Incorrect with Manishankar Iyer and Shapan Dasgupta, the show that takes up the biggest controversies every week and doesn't pull its punches. Well, this week there were multiple controversies, but one burning debate, the one about freedom of expression. Google, Facebook, and other websites were fighting against what they call government censorship, as well as a lawsuit that wants to make them responsible for offensive and objectionable content online. The same internet companies in the US are protesting against the Stop Online Piracy Act, or SOPA, which, if passed, will give the US government sweeping powers to block websites, for instance, to ensure that another WikiLeaks doesn't happen. Then, of course, there's been the big row over Salman Rushdie's visit to the Jaipur Literature Festival, raking up a controversy over a book written over 23 years ago. Well, each of these controversies has exposed the deep divide between advocates of freedom of expression and those who are more concerned about how free speech can disturb the peace. We're asking tonight, is freedom of expression under attack? Shaban, if I can begin with you, are you worried about the silence of the government, about the response we've seen, for instance, to the whole Rushdie controversy and what it means, and whether you see a pattern in the way the government has responded to the Rushdie row, before that the Hussain row, the Taslima Nasreen row? Do you see a disturbing pattern there?
It's not merely the silence of the government which worries me. If a government had remained silent, we could have given it the benefit of the doubt. It's the complicity of the government. They've been firing from the shoulders of the Rajasthan government, which in turn is now using the Rushdie affair as a method of placating certain sections of society which have no commitment whatsoever to what we know as liberal freedoms. And always, at the end of the day, they go back to the question, yes, there is freedom, but freedom is not absolute. And Rushdie has transgressed that 23 years ago in Satanic Verses, and therefore now, his book having been banned, now Rushdie deserves to be banished from appearing in any public platform in India. I think it's a travesty, because it's really what we are attacking is the spirit of the Constitution, not the letter. You can always frame something and say that Rushdie is a threat to the national peace, that Rushdie's presence offends too many people who are likely to go and agitate on the streets. And Rushdie is not the only person. In the past, we've seen a similar occurrence with M.F. Hussain, of people who interpreted his paintings in a particular way. The best thing for them to have been is don't see his paintings or lampoon them in some other way. No. But yet, what they did was they tried to take law into their own hands, burn it, and again, we saw various governments, and this really cuts across party political lines, that whenever they see an occasion where they feel there is an advantage to be gained from imposing checks on expression, artistic freedom, etc., they go. And now it's gone to one step further, it's gone into the social media space. Social media space, which I don't think so far has contributed to any violence. I don't think there's been any organized groups, but it has created a certain stir, it's created a certain buzz in society, whether in the form of the Anna Hazare movement or other things. In other countries, it's had far effect.
Well, I think we'll come back to the whole point of social media later on in the show, but staying with Rushdie first.
The state is interpreting a particular section of the Constitution which says freedom of speech is not absolute, in a very restrictive, draconian and illiberal way. And I think that has to be resisted.
Freedom of speech not absolute?
No freedom can be absolute. All rights carry with them certain duties. Freedom of expression would involve circulating child pornography in the men's colleges of Delhi. Would you approve of that? Is freedom of expression really under attack over here? You can exaggerate it to say that, oh, there is a connivance between the Congress government at the center and the Congress government in Rajasthan, and therefore they're stopping Rushdie from coming to India. They're not. The government of India has made it categorically clear that A, Mr. Rushdie does not require the permission of the government to come to India since he's a person of Indian origin, and second, that he is welcome to come here, but he should be aware that the sort of things that he has written and subsequently said have caused people, some people in India, to be very, very upset with him. And I thought Asaduddin Owaisi of Hyderabad summed it up very neatly when he said he's welcome to come to Hyderabad, we'll give him a real welcome. And everyone understood what he meant by that. So in these circumstances, to exaggeratedly portray the Rushdie event as somehow demonstrating a conspiracy on the part of the state to try and crush the freedoms of the people is the kind of exaggeration
Why is
to
it
which
that
I'm
every
not willing
time
to
there are
subscribe.
fringe groups?
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.